Hi, I'm Liz Glogowski, Managing Editor of One-to-One Media. While its competitors offer 99-cent hamburgers and spend millions on mass advertising, fast food restaurant Chick-Fil-A has quietly built a loyal customer base across the U.S. With 35 years of consecutive sales growth, the company attributes success to its culture, which emphasizes long-term customer relationships and high-class service. Michael McCatherine, Chick-fil-A's Senior Consultant of Interactive Digital Marketing, recently spoke to me about the company's customer strategy and marketing efforts. Michael, what's your approach to customer strategy and the customer experience?
Well, we take every single customer that walks in the door, and we try taking a look at the total experience that each and every individual customer has. We know we're a fast food restaurant. We'll always be a fast food restaurant. But what type of experience can we give them that's an unexpected type of experience that is beyond what they would expect at a fast food restaurant? So over 5 years ago, Truett started using the word "my pleasure" after everything. So it took a while to catch on, especially, you think, 16-year-olds making, $9 an hour, how do they say "my pleasure" with any type of sincerity? But it has really caught on. And I think it just speaks to what is arguably the best group of operators that are truly entrepreneurs in the restaurant industry today. They take on that unit as though they were the sole owner and that was their sole business, and they put their heart and soul in it. And it shows in the amount of training that we provide and resources that we provide that then all these operators execute by saying things like "my pleasure." When you're in the drive-thru, and anytime a customer says "thank you," we respond, "my pleasure." And now it's everyone at the home office does it, and I even find myself doing it at home, and now my kids say it. It's really a sort of a cultural perspective on service. We're all here to serve, and that's what makes it special. And we started a few years ago with Second Mile Service Initiative, and it isn't an annual, sort of the service initiative of the year, but it is the next step in maintaining this culture of customer service and what can we do to go beyond what's expected by the typical fast food customer and provide them with, sort of the 5-star, wow, this is really not like any kind of fast food restaurant I've been to before.
So is that a formalized program then?
It is. In fact, we established a Second Mile Service department last year. The results kind of speak for themselves. Our customer service cares line that responds to customer complaints, 25% of those phone calls or those emails are compliments, which is unheard of in our industry. So we set up a line to capture, any kind of customer situation that may result in a possible loss. But actually, 25% of them are just calling or writing to say what a fantastic experience they had. It's not unusual to see, on a rainy day, team members going out with umbrellas and meeting the customer at their car and walking them into the restaurant. It's crazy kind of stuff.
Wow. So it's really just a whole customer-focused culture that seems to permeate right from throughout the organization.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
Being in the fast food industry, it definitely seems in general that the industry is pretty commoditized and very price-focused. So how then do you differentiate with customers?
Yeah. Well, the value equation we use, and I think most people use, is, hey, at the end of the day, it's what I get versus what I paid equals the value of that experience. So we could look at it as, well, I'm either going to increase what I get and let that be what drives value, or do what most of our competitors do and just reduce the price it costs me to increase the perceived value of that experience. But the problem with that is, no matter how inexpensive the product might be or the ticket at the end of the day might be, if it's not a remarkable experience, then there's no loyalty built up there. So we have chosen not to compete on price, but to stay competitive, at the same time adding on to the value of the experience, that what did I get piece of the equation. Let's leave the price where it is and stay competitive and stay reasonable and affordable, but let's really focus all our all our resources on, ramping up that what did they get to increase the value.
Now, I know you mentioned, team members might meet customers at their cars during rainy days. Can you give a few other examples of some of the experience differentiators that go on within the stores?
When moms especially come in and they've got, a toddler on one hand and an infant in a carrier or in their arms, the operators have the authority to give the team members the authority and the responsibility to say, hey, you know what, take care of their order, then get out behind that counter and go grab a high chair and take their trays, help them take their trays to their table. And a lot of restaurants have hosts or hostess, and this is not somebody who's walking around just cleaning tables. This is to reinforce that second mile service. So he or she may walk around, and I've done it myself, walk around the restaurant during lunch and notice that, hey, during the conversation, these wonderful customers are having a great experience at Chick-Fil-A. I'm just going to subtly sneak in and see if and ask them, may I refresh your beverage? Versus, hey, can I get you anything else? Or, hey, how was everything? I mean, not the standard questions we want to avoid, because this is an uncommon experience we want you to have. So we try to subtly remove trays and remove the trash that they may have had on their table so that they feel more comfortable, and we invite them to stay longer. So it becomes because we want to treat them like we have a relationship with them and not just look at them as a transaction.
So how then does the marketing fit into the overall customer strategy?
Well, in two ways. One is at the local level, and you're going to hear me talk a lot about the local level because that's where the relationships happen. So where most of the world is spending most of its marketing money at the national level in national media, we're outnumbered and we're outspent by all of our competitors. So we've had to do things differently, but as luck and would have it, it's actually the right way, we believe, to do it. And that is, hey, no matter how big and how large our budgets might grow and how large in size we might become, let's not lose focus on what happens at the unit level. So in terms of marketing, we want to get the food in the people's mouths. They tell us that it's the taste that they can't get anywhere else. So we'll just give it away. We have, like on grand openings, we'll deliver 5,000 to 10,000 sandwiches around the trade area, just giving them away, saying, we're Chick-fil-A, here's what we taste like, and we want to provide lunch for you free today, and hopefully you'll come join us for lunch tomorrow. We're not trying to justify the cost of every single sandwich. What we're doing is making an investment in the future. So, and I know that's trite, and everybody says that about marketing, but it lives here at Chick-fil-A. I mean, you can see it happening for real every single day. And we have unit marketing directors, or a lot of operators have elected to hire unit marketing directors, and that's all they do is sales. But rather than go out and buy advertising in college newspapers or spend their time organizing direct mail, they're out making relationships. They might meet with the school superintendent or a school principal or some other influencer in the community, and just ask them, hey, you know what? I don't know you, and I'd like to get to know you better, but I'm not really here to sell you anything. I just like to know what it's like to be in your shoes. So what's on your to-do list today? What's the one thing that's giving you the biggest challenge? Because what that does is it lowers their defenses, knowing that we're not here trying to sell them anything, and begins that relationship. Because we're confident that over time, if I get to know you well enough, I'll get to understand what your challenges are. And you know what? Most of the time, as a unit marketing director, I can come up with something to help you meet those goals and to help you overcome those challenges. If you need to raise money, let's have a spirit night. Let's have a fundraiser. I'll help you. I'll donate, whatever it needs to be. But we're establishing a relationship here. I'm not just trying to make a sale. So it's really a whole different frame of mind than what most of the competitors and most retailers, for the most part, approach marketing with.